shingles don't matter, the prep does. What? Hold on a second. Let's take it back for a second and actually talk about this. The shingles don't matter. Let's talk about a little bit, what they did back in the day when they were shingling maybe 20 years ago. Now, 20 years ago, they would have put, maybe a little bit of poly on the eave, and that was it. And then it was shingles. And, sure, there was roof leaks. But there's still going to be roof leaks, and it doesn't matter if you're prepping the roof or not. Now, the roof does need to have prep. It's code. But it's not the most important thing on the roof. The most important thing on the roof is shingles. And by no way, shape, or form am I saying that prep doesn't matter. Prep does matter. But it's only one aspect of the roofing system. But the first thing you're going to see is shingles. Right? And like I said, for years and years and years, all that you had to do was put a little bit of poly on the eave, and then the rest was shingles. So let's just explore a little bit about the different types of shingles, why that's important to you, and why the prep has nothing to do with your shingles blowing away, except for maybe at the eave. All right, so I'm a little bit set up here. I just got some different shingles. I nailed them to a piece of plywood just to kind of give you an example of why the shingles matter. So this one here is an Ico shingle. This one here is an Owens Corning shingle. This is a Malarkey Windsor XL, which is a very, very expensive shingle. And then we've got the Euro Shield Light shingle. So and we're going to do some tests on these shingles today. So I'm going to actually attempt to pull these shingles off. I'm just going to use one hand because I only have one hand to use right now. But this is the Ico shingle. Pretty easy to pull off. Owens Corning. Almost took the plywood with it. Okay. That was a little bit tougher to pull off, definitely. Now this one here is the Windsor XL. Or sorry, the Windsor. The XL is now discontinued. The cool thing about this shingle is it actually has more nails than all the other ones. So just a little bit to break that down for you. When you install this shingle, it looks pretty sick. It's pretty nice looking shingle. But as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than these other shingles, right? It's got this extra little tab at the bottom. So what that means is you can add extra nails. So you can nail down here and in the nailing line because these cover the nails. So this one's obviously going to hold better. At least I think it will. Let's see. My God. I couldn't even get that whole shingle off. The prep the shingles don't matter, eh? Okay. So this is the Euro Shield. This is a made from 95% recycled tires. Great product. I don't think that's ever blown off your roof. The other cool thing about this one, it's tongue and groove. So this top shingle is going to sit into the lower shingle, so it can't even blow in the wind. And when you install this on your first lap, you know what this is right here, right? This is a starter strip for your regular shingles. This has a starter strip that actually grips this as well. So let's talk a little bit about what just happened there. So this shingle is an Ico shingle. Obviously that pulled off really easy. That's kind of like a builder grade shingle. Not very many re-roofs get done with this unless somebody talks you into it. But if I was to make a suggestion to anybody who's getting a roof done, don't use Ico shingles if you want the roof to last. If you're just looking for bottom dollar shingle, then great. But you can do better than this. Next, you've got the Owens Corning shingles. This is one of my personal favorites. And I'll tell you why. This strip right here is why. You see that strip there? That's nylon. I wish I had more than one hand. Hold on, I'm gonna nail this to the... No, I'll just set the phone up here for a second. Sorry about that. So this nylon strip from Owens Corning is very, very durable. Very durable. I can't rip that. So you saw that sits right here, right on the nailing line. And when I tried to pull that shingle off for a regular asphalt shingle, that was pretty tough to take off. I've never seen this blow off in my life. Now that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened, but I've never seen it blow off. This, lots. This, none. And a couple of reasons for that is the Owens Corning shingle. When you install it properly, you nail on this line here, right, which is that nylon that I just showed you, and then this one here sits on top of that. So on the back side of that tar line seals right down to this strip. So instead of sealing to the granules like all the other shingles, it's actually sealing to the strip. So one of my favorite shingles. Unfortunately, I don't have a BP product here. I'm gonna have to do another video with the BP shingles, just to kind of show you what the pull test is compared to all these other ones. And then you have the rubber. Oh, I missed this one that came out apart in pieces. This was very, very tough to pull off, probably because of the extra nails. But oh, look at all the tar lines on that too. So that's going to seal down really good. This shingle here is pretty expensive, but you get what you pay for. It's going to hold better than this shingle. It's going to hold better than this shingle. And I don't know if you noticed, but I laid them out in in order as to how much better they are. And then the rubber, obviously that was almost impossible to pull off. I actually almost pulled the plywood off with it. So this is going to work really well. So that's why I'm disputing the idea that, prep is the most important part of a roof. Yes, prep is important. We definitely want to have some prep, and let's talk a little bit about that. But the shingle, as far as blow-offs and longevity of your roof, the shingle is what's going to dictate that. And also, things like ventilation and so on and so forth. Now, this here is a starter strip, and basically, when you install, rotate your phone. If you install this over top of this, that sealant strip is going to touch that sealant strip, and that's going to stop the shingle from flapping in the wind, right? Because once the shingle starts flapping, these nails start to work their way out, and it's not going to pull through the shingle, but it's going to pull the nail out of the roof itself. So super important to have a starter strip all the way around the perimeter of your roof. Now let's talk about drip edge. Drip edge is super important. Most drip edge that you buy these days is just a simple, I need more hands, a simple profile like this, and then it just drips down. Whereas ours has this extra little, my God, sorry guys, it has this extra little lip here because water retains the things. So if water is going to come down your roof, right, and it's coming down and it touches the edge of the shingle, some of it is going to wrap around the shingle and go in between your fascia and your gutters, which can rot out your shingles. That's not very good, right? So if you have drip edge on, your typical drip edge is just going to come off the roof and then over, but water could still retain to that and come back and get between your gutters and your fascia. So what we've done is we've gotten this drip edge. I don't think anybody else in the city offers it, but if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But it has this extra little piece right here, right? And so that sits over top of the gutters. And so when the water retains to the bottom of this, and notice how I say when, not if, the water is going to retain to the bottom of this and come and drip right into the gutters. Can't work its way up. If there's snow and ice in the gutters, it can't work its way up and into the void between your roof and your water protection system. Next, we have ice and water shield. This is important, especially in our climate, because what's going to happen on a roof is the water up, or the snow up here is going to melt, and it's going to flow down the roof. And then see how this little area here has soffit? Well, that's considered a cold space. So as soon as the water comes from up here and hits this cold space, it's going to freeze, and then any water that builds up behind it can work its way underneath the shingles, and that's also going to freeze, and then eventually it can work its way into your roof. So Ice and water shield, not deck base. Deck base doesn't seal to the roof. Ice and water shield is super important because it's going to seal directly to the roof. This stuff is very tough to get off once it heats up and adheres to the roof. Then on the rest of the roof, you can use synthetic. Now synthetic is going to be, there's a ton of different types of synthetic. We've got the Owens Corning brand. There's the, I think I have some WeatherTight here. BP WeatherTight stuff. There's Rhino. Rhino is actually manufactured by Owens Corning as well. All of these serve the same purpose. They're the exact same thing pretty well. Different colors and stuff, but it's basically like a big tarp, right? So you roll it out on the roof and it adds an extra layer of protection. Then you install your shingles. Now, a couple super really important things. I've got some shingles that blew off here. This one here is an ICO shingle. You can see it went through they installed it properly. They installed it where the nail goes through the double laminate here, right? That's your nailing line along here. So if it doesn't go through the double laminate, that's what we call a high nail, right? So if it's up here, and super big difference between a high nail and a low nail. The high nail up here doesn't go through that double laminate, so you don't have the rigidity at the bottom of the shingle, right? A low nail here, that can cause a leak. So you definitely don't want high nails or low nails. It needs to be in the strip here. Now, we 6-nail all of our shingles, so with the Owens Corning shingles and this this strip 6-nailing, those shingles are never going to blow off. Honestly, like I said, I've installed this quite a few times in my life. I've been roofing for almost 10 or a little over 10 years now, and I've never seen this shingle blow off, whereas I see this all the time. So the shingle definitely does matter. If you guys have any questions for me about different types of shingles and what's better and what's worse and why, feel free to give me a call. My number is 780-906-5111. And if you can't get a hold of me, or if you just want me to come out and give you an estimate or do an inspection on your roof, you can click on the link. It'll be right up by my header thing. It says contact us. You can just contact me through there. What's going on, Jesse? Jesse used to work for me. What's going on, Jesse? Say hi. Or don't. Yeah, like I said, if you guys need any information from me or if you want an estimate, feel free to fill out that form or get in touch with me directly on my cell phone, and I'll be happy to help you out. Cheers, guys.